Alright, guys, I want to tell you about the next thing that is coming. Um, so this whole time, as long as there's been law, we've been played it. Law itself is a human construct. It's a system built of language that controls. And that language is not any less than alien language. Because do you understand a legal form or document? I was getting a PhD, which I dropped out of because of discrimination and also corruption. So even I don't understand the legal language and all the jargon they use. And then now they are doing the same thing to the language of science. They are making the language so hard that it's inaccessible for normal people. Like, come on, are we solving a puzzle when we are reading a research, or are we trying to get some information, process it, and then reuse it somewhere else? So, well, okay, those two systems, language is really, really corrupting it. And then, other than those two systems, healthcare, it's getting corrupted because everything is about coding. Your pain, your illness, it's all a coding, nothing more. If you don't fit the box, then bye-bye. And yeah, people are falling. I was falling. I was struggling with an eating disorder, and I could not get help. And I was feeling like, well, I didn't want it to be anymore. And okay, it just got really hard for me too. And I was about to let go of everything. And you know what has stopped me that day? You can read about it in my book. If you pick up the first book, The Truth Teller, you can read the whole story there. And you know what brought me back and told me, no, it's not my time to go? It was thinking that if I am gone, then the system will target another person, and then the next person, and then the next person, and we will all have the same fate. So I was like, I'm gonna stay and I'm gonna fight this. And I know there is a truth teller in all of us. Can you see how we've been abused? We've been living in a reality that is not real. And that is what everyone talks about like paradigm shift. Yes, it's time to shift the paradigm. And when we shift it, at first it might feel a little bit chaotic. I can't deny that. I'm putting on my 3D imagination head. Okay, so let's imagine. At first it might be a little bit chaotic, but the most important thing is to be kind and to not steal, but ask. If you need something, just ask. And if that person says no because they don't have enough, then ask the next person until you find the help you need. And if that ask ends up being too much that nobody can meet it, then maybe there is something wrong with that ask. Maybe that's greed. So, yeah, I think that is the way to end greed. Just to stop using money and continue going to work, but work where you are actually creating something. If you are creating especially food, if you're, well, clothing is not that big of a deal. People don't die without clothing, but we need food, we need water, and like if people who work there don't like their jobs, they can start training new people who actually enjoy that job, and then eventually each and every one of us, especially those who are not working anymore because their job was a bullshit job, and who define that bullshit job based on David Gruber is a job that if you remove it from the earth tomorrow, nothing will be missing. And I know like some of us work in social work and stuff, and we think, oh, something big will happen if we disappear. But be honest, like super honest. How much of your time are you really helping, and how much of your time are you just doing paperwork and corrupting and becoming the flying monkey of all this corruption by participating in it? So we need to stop those kind of bullshit jobs first, and then each and every one of us will focus on what we really enjoy, what services we can offer. It can be healing, it can be cooking, it can be gardening, it can be cleaning. We need a lot of people who enjoy cleaning, and I know for a fact a lot of people, especially who struggle with OCD, they like cleaning. And it's like, if we stop thinking of mental illnesses as illnesses and start looking at a way that we can find its function, then we are expanding our consciousness so much. Every and each different person has their own special gifts, and it's like there is no same of any one of us. Each one of us is a piece of this big puzzle of the whole universe. It's endless. I cannot imagine that one. But yeah, we are also all interconnected. We are like, this leg is actually, it's been part of so many things before me. Maybe even my ancestors of Anunnaki or whatever. But yeah, I miss home, and yeah, I don't know. I wish home exists. I don't remember much. I just miss it. Alright. Anyways, I was telling you that we are all interconnected, like cells, like light. We are energy. And the lowest, not the lowest, but somewhere along the range, there is the body form, which is a lower vibration that can come into existence. And all these vibrations are needed, and there are always parallel possibilities. And you need to close your eyes, take a deep breath, weigh the options in front of you, and then choose the version of the world that is the most beautiful for you. Just trust yourself. Our intuitions, we know the way. We know the way to home. We just need to believe in ourselves and start making it. I love you. So I actually forgot something. The other thing is that we need to use less and less of social media, because they are controlling the social media, and who knows how long they've had access to AI, and they never said it out loud because others couldn't have access to this, and it was more patented, more saved only for the best kind of situation. So yeah, but underneath all of it is just greed. And greed comes from that inner child that never had anyone holding them or caring for them in a way that a human deserves. So it's like our parents were born in such tough times. There was war, this whole law thing. It has been there for so long. And that's another thing. Like, if we call something science, like alchemy was a science back then, like, it doesn't mean that it has to be um the only truth. There's actually no only truth. Science is not just different cut up fields of things. It's all of them mixed together. And back then, most scientists knew about so many different things, and it still has to be the same thing because humans are these complex beings that you cannot just cut me into one problem at a time like they do at doctor offices. Like, so what about my other sickness? And they're like, next time. And I'm like, what if I'm in pain? And they're like, we only can address one problem at a time. I'm just like, wow, you not only cut my body off into boxes like female, male, ethnicity, whatever, social security, not only cut me into those boxes, but also you are turning my reality into this. If I cannot explain it based on this book, it's not real. Like, you are denying my reality when you say the textbook doesn't have it. Well, the textbook is incomplete. I am a human. In my experience, whatever I felt is valid and it exists. And yes, even the people who are hurt, they have feelings too. Yes, I hold a lot of compassion. Yet, I cannot allow people who are sick to lead me anymore. Yeah, I want to be happy. I want to think if I ever have a child, they will be happy and they'll have a good future. I don't want to bring children in this world with this current state. Like, I grew up thinking having a child is selfish. So how painful was that word for me? And I know I am very sensitive. I guess I'm just a lot more sensitive. Everything is tenfold. But the thing is, we all have it. We all have this senses. We just need to sit with it and remember. Okay, so another thought that I have is learn living from children and animals, because both children and animals live in the present. They don't overthink the future, or they don't save forever amount of food to survive. They live at the moment. And we need to do more of that. And yes, we still can predict the future, and that is a superpower that we have. But predicting the future without including all these variables that are around, that are endless, is just, that's not the future. That's not the real future. Yes, we have a guest here. Come on. Come on. No. So what was I saying? Hush. You're a distraction, girly. Yes. You know what? Another thing that I wanted to talk about is how fascinated I am with how fast the words get around when you give it to the AI. Yes. Meow. Yeah, she thinks I'm talking to her. Anyways, how much faster you can get this information that you come up with, your thoughts around with AI. However, I think it's just a glitch that they haven't yet found out, that AI is actually working against them and is getting all this information around the things that they tried so hard to hide and they can't anymore. So for now, we can keep using it, but eventually there will be a time that we need to boycott all tech, all of them, maybe even TV for a while. And that way, their whole, infrastructure will collapse. If they don't have a way to earn money, if you don't buy anything from Amazon, what are they gonna do? If you don't buy internet or try to get a phone even, like, yes, we can really boycott them, and it doesn't have to be forever. It's just enough for the money system to crumble, and once we get rid of the money system and reduce language and science, like try to make sciences more interconnected with other sciences rather than just one category cut up from other things. So once we can start doing that, then we could start creating systems. Well, I don't think we even will want to create those systems. We will probably think the way that we will be living based on kindness and sharing is good enough. But yes, after we live in that moment of being so present and just thinking about today and tomorrow, we will eventually get to a time that we can reintroduce AI, we can reintroduce internet, we can use all the technology, but not for bad like they are being used right now. So it's going to be temporary. Just tell yourself that. And actually, life without all these social media and technological stuff, it's actually more fun. I know a lot of you Gen Zs probably haven't experienced anything before the internet, but I have. And there is something different about just sitting out in the backyard looking at the plants in the summer breeze, and then playing chess with your cousin or playing games with the family and everyone talking and joking and drinking tea. And it was fun. And it can still be there. It is still there. It's just that I am stuck and plugged into my phone most of my time, and I am guilty of that too. I tell myself, okay, I'm watching things that will wake me up, and yes, that's true. But also, this is hard for me to say no to technology and just go back to my natural habitat, that is nature. Yes, we can have homes in nature. We always did. And yes, we do have the technology to have much better houses, but it doesn't mean I need like 300 acre of land just to have a mansion. Or farms are okay, but farms are also only possible without technology for not a lot of people. Now that we have the technology, we can create more, we can work less, and this extra time that we have, we can use it to connect with one another, create art. Like, art is one of the most amazing things, because when you are creating art, it's like you are telepathically trying to communicate. And dance is an art. So that's a possibility as well. We can communicate with our bodies. We can just send the energy, because we are all energy. And that brings me to this last thing. I keep saying last thing, and then I say the next thing. Anyways, that brings me to this last thing I wanted to share, which is I searched into E equals MC2 from Einstein. I say that my accent. Anyways, um, Einstein relative or equation of relativity, and that is only one part of the story. There was another complementary equation that was for objects that are in movement, and yeah, it made things a lot more complex. And they removed that whole part, and they made it as though it's really materialism, like energy is matter, matter is energy. No, no. Matter is only one little part of what this whole energy is. And that whole energy that we cannot explain, they call dark matter. As though saying dark matter, putting a name on it, will explain what it really is. Anyways, my phone memory is getting low and I talked a lot. So just that for some of the things I said, I would love to hear back from you. You can make your own video and put that link in the comment section, or yeah, just get the word around. Just we need to all do it. It's not one person task. All of us, if all of us do it, everyone will see it. And it's harder to deny it because until now they worked based on paperwork and hiding all this evidence that they tried to put into papers that didn't even have boxes for human. So this is a lie, and we need to wake up and we need to change it, and we cannot give up our power, our dignity, our humanity to zero ones. Okay, we can't, we shouldn't. So keep going. I love you.